Welcome to this year's Outstanding Service and Care Awards, proudly sponsored by the Uhcw charity. These are the Oscars, but not as we know them. Of course, 2020 has been a year like we've never known before. With the pandemic of coronavirus, the challenges of the health service have been greater than any of us have ever known in our times and our careers. But it's also been a time when we've risen to those challenges like never before. So, for the first time ever, we're holding the awards virtually, and that is not the only change. We've introduced a judging panel made up of patient partners, volunteers, network chairs, change makers, and colleagues from across the whole trust. We also have some new categories. Our Celebrating Diversity Award and Staff Choice Award, meaning there are more opportunities than ever to showcase our amazing work. What has not changed is the care, compassion and pride shown by every single member of our Uhcw family, including our volunteers and our colleagues from ISS, Vinci and the Uhcw charity. There is so much for us to celebrate, and the quality and quantity of nominations received demonstrate how often you all have gone above and beyond during a year like no other. Thank you for everything you do to make a difference to the lives of so many. Please grab a seat, get settled, because the Outstanding Service and Care Awards for 2020 are about to begin.
We're kicking off your awards night with our Rising Star Award. This celebrates individuals who early in their career have already made a significant impact or improvement at the Trust. Our Rising Stars have shown early promise and exceptional achievement, as well as effectively demonstrating their commitment to our vision and values. The nominees are Alice Johns, dietitian; Claire Pheasant, Associate Director of Allied Health Professions; Laura Woodend, dietitian.
Shall I sign your colleagues? So you had a fabulous nomination to be the Rising Star. It talked about, only back in January you sort of went over to Head and Neck, and you soon became really firmly part of the team in there. Not only that, but you also took on critical care as well. Instead, it talks about the fact that you worked passionately throughout in difficult times, to say the least, where we had to do remote training for things like difficult tube insertions, always putting the patient first. And it talks about the fact you couldn't go home to Wales. You came home every night, you kept coming back, and you were exemplary in what you did, so congratulations.
Alice works in my team as a Macmillan dietitian, and I've nominated her for the Rising Star Award because she has been a real star this year. In January, she took on part of the head and neck caseload, supporting this complex patient group through chemo, radiotherapy and surgery. However, after just 3 months of getting to grips with it, COVID hit and she was pulled into the intensive care units. And at the same time, the lead head and neck dietitian went on paternity leave. So she's basically left to lead this service. So it was a real baptism of fire. It's impossible to sum up in 60 seconds why she deserves this award. Alice is a young dietitian, both in age and experience. She took on this heavy, complex head and neck caseload on top of the stress of critical care, seeing very sick and dying patients. Throughout, she showed so much care and compassion, even when she was sometimes on her knees with the physical and emotional stress of it all. And I've no doubt that she's played a key role in getting her head and neck patients through some gruelling cancer treatments. What I really admire about Alice is her resilience. All her family live in Wales, so she's barely seen them over the past few months, and she's had to go back to an empty household every evening, but she's still come back for more. So we're all really, really proud of her and just love that her hard work's been recognised.
They're overwhelmed. I'm not very good at this kind of thing, but obviously it's lovely. It's really, really nice to obviously get a bit of recognition, but it's lovely. I think there's lots of people who deserved it more, but it was really nice. Thank you. Well, I've got amazing line manager and manager who've supported me all the way, and I think during sort of the difficult times during the first wave, I think they just made everything so much more easy for me. I wouldn't have been able to do it without their support, so big thank you to them.
Our People's Choice Award allows patients and members of the public to recognise those that have left a lasting impact in their lives. At UHCW, we pride ourselves on delivering high-quality patient care, and the entries received a testament to the expertise and dedication of our staff. The nominees are Dr. Beatrice Lara, Respiratory Consultant; Vicky Jones, Macmillan Gynae Oncology, Advanced Nurse Practitioner; Robin Goff, Registered Nurse; Renal Dialysis Team, Gastroenterology Team, UHCW At Home Team.
So you guys were not only nominated, but you've won an Oscar. A very special Oscar actually, because it's the People's Choice one, nominated by our patients. And actually it was by a husband of one of the patients who said that basically you've made this year possible for them. Because their husband, who's been ill with lung comorbidities, has a bit of a fear of coming to hospital. So you and the team not only sort of kept them sane, but treated them, and they can see a way forward now at the end of 2020. And that is quite an epitaph given what we've been through, so congratulations.
I have nominated the UHCW At Home team for this Oscar following my husband's recent hospital admission. Over the past few months he's been admitted 6 times with an infection. He doesn't cope well being in hospital, has a real phobia. During each admission he's become very ill due to his infection, causing confusion and agitation. Thankfully, the UHCW At Home service has enabled him to return home to his family, which has had a big impact on his mental and physical well-being. We are so grateful for this excellent service, which is helping my husband to recover from his illness at home. They deserve this Oscar for their excellent team working, their constant hard work, compassion, respect and dignity to my husband and myself.
I think it's an amazing year, very, very challenging year, and we try to help our best.
Yeah, patients are generally happier, aren't they? They want to go home, they want to get out of hospital, they're scared of catching, obviously, COVID as it is. Yeah. So I think to them, the earliest they can get home, the better, and then stay at home. And plus they get all our attention, it's lovely, you're getting a nurse one-to-one on the nurse, you know, it gives them time to sort of tell us anything they want to tell us and vice versa. So yeah.
We're working on our new model of care, aren't we?
We are working on a new model of care.
Looking forward to that in 2021. We'll increase our capacity, so we'll be able to see more patients in their own home.
I've won a very special Oscar. It's the People's Choice Oscar. So we got from one of our patients. So this was one of our patients put you forward. He was here and very nervous, had an operation. Apparently you were on nights that evening. And you spent some time with him, and he then basically looked after him. He says you go way beyond what a nurse normally is. He says he knows that's right because, we get this right now, I think his mum was a nurse for 25 years and his sister for 45 years. So he knows all about nursing. He says you are actually exemplary, and he was very privileged when he came back from an outpatient appointment. He actually bumped into you and spoke to you. So I think his name's Mr. James, but you'll be able to see it. But it's a fantastic award, and you well deserve it.
My name's Ron James. Earlier this year I had an operation at the hospital and stayed overnight. I was awake most of the night, and I was aware that other patients on my ward had to be checked on a regular basis. At 8 p.m, Robin Goff introduced herself and inquired as to my welfare. I was immediately aware of her very positive personality and of love of what she was doing. This shone out with her smile and her obvious interest. During the night she had to check on the fellow patient in my pod numerous times, and I noted her attitude and demeanour with him. On occasion, having carried out her checks on him, she would take time out to chat to me. The ward was very quiet and I could clearly hear her interaction with the other patients. Her banter with them were genuine and not just pro forma. Whilst what she was doing during her shift may be put down to nursing, it was more than that. I am by experience a cynical person, and she made me smile every time she came and interacted with me or the other patients. She did not jump out of a helicopter nor assist in open heart surgery in the street. She did what was obvious to her a vocation of being a nurse. Not only that, she did it with such a panache that even now, some months later, she still makes me smile.
So I'm very grateful to receive this award. As you can imagine, this year's been quite difficult. We're a new ward, so for a patient to recognise how much I enjoy working on this ward is lovely. Yeah, I'm just very grateful, really.
Learning and improving underpin everything we do as a trust. Our inspiring educators live and breathe these values. They're a helping hand, a mentor, a subject expert and a friendly face to their peers. The Educator of the Year Award recognises individuals who help others to reach their full potential. Our nominees are Dr. Andy Creedon, Advanced Practitioner Radiographer, Dr. Jamal Khan, Consultant Cardiologist, Miss Joanna Skillman, Consultant, Dr. Anadini Arumagam, Clinical Fellow, Dr. Karolina Polinska-Rudska, Registrar.
So, not only have you been nominated, but you've actually won an Oscar.
Oh, thanks.
For Outstanding Educator. The nomination for you is quite fantastic, actually. It talks about how you treat everybody the same. You always make people feel safe, that they can make mistakes and learn that way. Particular passion for cardiograph and MRI, cardiac MRI, and just that you lead by example constantly. So, congratulations.
Hi everyone, I've nominated Jamal Khan for a number of reasons. Number one, he's an excellent trainer. He's created a great learning environment where mistakes can be made and any question can be asked without embarrassment. Number two, he's given up vast amounts of his own time to help trainees. For example, he ensures that every trainee gets a case report publication, spends vast amounts of time rewriting what we've submitted to him to make it publishable. Secondly, he's produced a one-day lecture series on his own accord without being asked on cardiac MRI, and invited other trainees from the region to attend for free. Thirdly, his interactions with medical, non-medical staff, friendly, they're kind, he's respectful without hierarchy, he's very kind to the patients, he's compassionate, he sees when they're anxious or worried about procedures and sets them at ease, or tries to anyway. I think he's a great role model, though he's very open about his perceived faults and happy to admit his mistakes for learning purposes. Jamal, I think you're a great guy. Thank you for looking after us, helping us and training us and being our friends. Thanks.
I'm really pleased, I'm thrilled, but I'm really surprised. Didn't expect to be nominated, and I certainly didn't expect to win this. It's come as a massive surprise, but yeah, it's lovely of people to have thought that I've made an impact to their education, but it's not just me, I'm just part of a team that educates, and I think it's a real team effort. Yeah, I'm really grateful for everyone's input and for the opportunity to be allowed to do stuff towards education, both within the hospital and outside the hospital with with the sort of teaching responsibility that I have.
Hi, I'm Professor Prithvish Banerjee, and I'm a cardiologist at University Hospital Coventry. Before the first wave of the COVID-19 pandemic hit the United Kingdom, I wrote a poem which was on the National Health Service. And I'd like to read the poem for you. The poem is titled The National Health Service UK in Battle. Attracting workers from across the world to practice medicine as an art unfurled, working arm in arm with the flood of skills, the NHS is a place for no ordinary thrills. A quiet dedication runs at the core, genuine care, excellence, ethics and more, fairness and respect. Every patient is our own, equal attention for all, celebrity or unknown. Teams within teams innovating all the time, working for principles and pleasure, not just the dime. Decisions are always based on clinical need. Ego or arrogance can rarely breed. Let's be honest, there are challenges galore. The service can be difficult to sustain at the door. It's the unique model though of health for all, whether they are rich or poor, short or tall. Another key aspect is the family doctor's role. Their warmth and support reaches down to the soul. Guardians of health of the families they know, working with nurses and specialists through winds and snow. As a part of the workforce, I'm honored to say I feel privileged, wouldn't have it another way. It's a warm feeling to stand proudly with friends that show commitment and skills that never ends. And now that the winds have suddenly changed, a battle cry has risen, our troops arranged. Amidst uncertainty and strife, we will stand tall to do our best, support you all. If you're alone, unwell or afraid, know that the NHS will always be there with aid. In times like this, our heartbeats are one until the storm passes and our job is done.
The Oscars are just one way that we recognise the great work that you do day in, day out across the year. To bring together all of our staff recognition programmes this year, we've introduced the Staff Choice Award. This brings together our world-class colleague and Daisy Award winners from 2020. We put the power in your fingertips to decide your winner, and you voted in your hundreds. And I'm delighted to say congratulations to Claire Stokes, this year's Staff Choice Award winner.
I'm here to present an Oscar. It's a very special Oscar because it's one voted for by staff colleagues, and the only people who could actually get this Oscar were those who either won a Daisy Award or a World Class Colleague Award. And there was a big poll, and you won it by a mile. So congratulations.
Oh, brilliant. I'm absolutely overwhelmed, obviously, to receive this award. It means so much. But like I've said numerous times, for anything that is presented to the ward or to a staff member, you can't do it without the team, and I do have an absolutely amazing team. And you know, everybody knows it's been a very challenging year. My staff have worked so hard, and I can't thank them enough for that, really. So this is just as much for them as it is for me, but they're an amazing team. They're a pleasure to manage. We have our difficult times, but we overcome them every time through teamwork. That's what we are. We're one big happy family and one big happy team.
This is a year when we have had to think differently and discover new ways of working to overcome the challenges thrown our way. Our Excellence Through Ideas, Improvement and Innovation Award recognises the teams and individuals that have done this and inspired others along the way. The nominees are Mr. Shashi Prasad, Head and Neck Consultant Surgeon, Marie Lucid, Sister, Mr. Chris Hill, Consultant Pediatric Orthopaedic Surgeon, Nixie Samuel, Lead Pharmacist, Marie Lawrence, Advanced Nurse Practitioner, Phlebotomy Team, Community Nutrition Support and Medicines Management, Respiratory and Sleep Sciences Team, Cellular Pathology Dissection Team, COVID Research Consultant Team.
I've got to say, in the 11 years of the Oscars, I think this is the longest nomination because of how much you've actually done. You've been nominated by many different people for the technologies you brought to this pipe to us in Uhcw to enable people not to have to travel to London and further afield. Set up NDT, 6 different technologies. So it's incredibly well deserved, so congratulations.
So let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Shashi Prasad. During the 2.5 years that I've been here, he has been consistently one of the loveliest, kindest, most caring consultants that both myself and the charity team have dealt with. He is always trying to come up with different ways of making things better for his patients. That's involved so many innovative techniques that he's brought into the Trust, which includes 7 multidisciplinary services and 6 new technologies, meaning that patients can have things done here and not have to travel to London and elsewhere for those procedures. It's not just his own area though that he has helped, he's also helped our children's wards by securing funding from his Lions Club for entertainers to make things better for those patients on the wards in normal times. He's also secured funding from the Lions for our Face Centre for their baby bereavement garden, helping our patients and their families there too. So all in all, Shashi is a really deserving winner of this award. He is committed, humble, and just the loveliest guy. All in all, just a great, wonderful guy and an all-round good egg.
It was a pleasant surprise, but obviously we have done some work in conjunction with my colleagues, and I'm really glad to have an excellent team with me and all our administrative support team. So it's a joint effort, and obviously friends, family, they've all been quite supportive. It has meant a great deal of hard work, but all of them have been supportive behind the back.
Talking about true partnership working, trying to constantly innovate, which has been fantastic for care home residents, and just simply made a massive difference to patients. So thank you very much.
I've nominated community dietitians and Coventry and Rugby CCG Medicine Optimisation Team for this award for their work with Coventry care homes. In 2017, just a handful of staff started a project in over 70 care homes to improve the identification and treatment of malnutrition through proactive screening and a food-first approach. It was quite a brave step for the team to move away from prescribed supplements to developing and using their homemade recipes. However, over the last 3 years, they've worked in partnership with each other and the care homes to develop, train and enforce new guidelines, and have earned the respect of care home staff as they tell us they are now confidently and independently able to identify and treat malnutrition. The team have also demonstrated improvement in patient experience and patient outcomes, and have improved the knowledge and skills of care home staff from chefs through to home managers. This has freed up the community dietitians to increase contact with the vulnerable elderly living in their own homes by over 90%. The team have secured additional funding and dietitians to continue this work, and I'd just like to give a big shout out to Olga. She's worked really hard with me on this project. We were good friends before we started, and I think we're on the same page, and I think that's what's helped. And yeah, thank you, Olga.
Thank you very much for this award on behalf of the whole of the community dietetic team. We're all really shocked and happy to receive this award, and especially at the end of a really tough year for the NHS. A massive thank you to Olga Sutton, who is our medicine management dietitian, who is absolutely fundamental to this community project, and the acute dietitians as well for helping us implement everything. Thank you very much.
We have received more than 170 nominations for our next category. This speaks volumes about how our leaders have pushed the boundaries to make the impossible possible, all the while supporting and developing their teams to provide the best possible care we can. The nominees are Fiona Wells, Infection Prevention and Control Nurse, Rebecca Ford, Interim Head of Dietetics and Adult Speech and Language Therapy, Zoe Cambridge, Pre-Treatment Superintendent, Katie Goodall, Network Mortuary Manager, Paula Skelton, Ward Manager, and Louisa Eden, sister.
You know that you were nominated for an Oscar. But not only were you nominated, you are a winner. And her nomination talks about the fact that in one of the busiest and hardest times ever for the NHS, the hardest, you had to stand up for other reasons to become a leader, and you did that in your own style, working in partnership with many people across the Trust, but also in a way that empowers people to work. One of your colleagues said that your leadership skills have come to the fore in the way they knew they would, and at the same time you've always had that smile on your face. So I think that typifies you, and this is a fabulous award and well deserved.
I've nominated Fiona for this award because of the amazing job that she's done, stepping up at short notice to lead the infection prevention and control team. It's difficult to imagine a more challenging time to take on leadership of the infection prevention and control team, and it's difficult to imagine anybody making quite such a good job of stepping up to that challenge as Fiona has done. Throughout the time, her good humour and her humanity have earned her the complete respect of the team. We've been through some big changes as a team. We've moved to being a 7-day service. We've had 2 teams merged together. And the compassion and respect that Fiona has shown for the team, for her staff, has enabled her to carry the team through that. She's always been open, always been happy to talk through, listen and learn from feedback. She's created opportunities for those around her to develop, and she's developed a whole range of new skills herself. She's built strong partnerships across the Trust and beyond it. Throughout the period of the crisis, she's been the model of a leader in a modern learning organisation. She hasn't imposed improvement upon us, but she's facilitated us to improve and to develop excellence. The team's going into winter in a much stronger position. Whilst the whole team has played a part in that, it's been Fiona's leadership which has really facilitated it.
Wonderful, completely shocked. I wasn't expecting it. It's been such a difficult year. There's been so many wonderful leaders. With everything going on, to be selected is just it's a wonderful honour and a complete shock.
It's been a year like no other, and 2020 will be forever etched into the history of UHCW and the wider NHS. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected all staff, carers, helpers, patients, and wider members of our community. The response delivered to the ongoing pandemic has been nothing short of inspiring and remarkable. We have seen so many sacrifices made. People have adapted to new ways of working, and teams have worked differently, taking on additional responsibility and demonstrating unwavering commitment to the task at hand. We want you to know how grateful we are for the manner in which you have all gone above and beyond to care for the people of Coventry and Warwickshire, which includes both patients and staff. Millions around the world have seen how much we have achieved at UHCW in such a short space of time through the documentaries we've had on Sky News, BBC Panorama, NBC, CNN, and of course all the local news channels as well.
The government says the Midlands is now a particular area of concern.
The question remains, can the region weather the storm?
A lot of us did feel that we was getting ready to go to war, and we was thinking, this is it, what are we going to do?
Staff members being in tears, breaking down.
Everything just hit sort of at once.
The problem with this pandemic is that it's not something that's there and then just disappears the next day.
When you come to work, you just worry what you're going to take back to your family.
Everybody was affected. I don't think there's anybody who went through this that hasn't been affected in some way.
Catastrophe brings change, and some of that change has been good.
You just want people to, to be able to hold her and give her a good squeeze.
People came together like a family.
I'm a midwife. I'm a theatre nurse.
I'm an emergency physician.
I have been delivering babies.
I've been treating cancer patients.
To the COVID-19
pandemic.
Wherever you look in this hospital, you will see transformation, forced change because of the coronavirus pandemic. This hospital will never be the same again, and nor will the NHS.
At the hospital, they're gathering for what's become a weekly ritual, here and across the UK. The Thursday night clap-out for NHS workers and carers.
We work in ITU and theatres, and there's lots of people in there that wish they could come out and see this now. So I'm going to come and take a video and show everyone inside and show them the support that's out here, really.
What does it mean to you if you work here?
Just very emotional. It's very nice to see the appreciation.
On the streets of Coventry, they've also come out to show their support.
We came out to clap because we wanted just to be a community and show the people that who live next door, who's a nurse and things, how much they mean to us for what they're doing.
You just can't fault them, they're absolutely fantastic. Putting their lives at risk for us, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's quite touching, isn't it? And I think it just epitomises the public support that the NHS has. COVID-19 may have had a big impact on our year, but it's important that we celebrate the amazing achievements and milestones we have reached. The Care Quality Commission rated University Hospital Coventry and the Hospital of St Cross in Rugby, and the Trust as a whole, as good. The Chief Nursing Officer for England, Ruth May, officially opened our Centre for Care Excellence, believed to be the first of its kind in the country, serving nursing, midwifery and allied health professionals. World-class research was undertaken to help support the fight against COVID-19 across our organisation. UHCW secured a high reduction in waiting times for patients with cancer, for procedures, scans and appointments throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. £15 million was pledged by the government to expand our emergency department to help meet the acute needs of our patients better. We continue to have the best IVF rates in the country at our Centre for Reproductive Medicine. Building work has started on a new oncology and haematology unit at the Hospital of St Cross in Rugby. Ramesh Arasaratnam, Professor of Gastroenterology, was awarded an OBE and the Queen's Honours List for his dedication and contribution to patient care during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Trust could not have achieved any of this without the dedication and commitment that our staff has shown to patients throughout the pandemic. I want to thank you for your unfailing professionalism and sustained work, both during the pandemic and of course today. I, on behalf of myself, my Chief Officer colleagues and our non-executive directors, want to thank you for everything that you do.
Please take a few minutes to pause, refill your glasses and stretch your legs. We look forward to seeing you shortly for more Oscar stories.
The unprecedented challenge that has faced us all would have been made all but impossible without the help and generosity of countless individuals, organisations, local businesses and the wider community. We have been overwhelmed with tremendous offers of kindness, including companies making or contributing PPE, an army of people sewing scrubs and making hats, donations of technology to keep patients in touch with loved ones, supplies of food, drink and toiletries for the staff and for superhero care boxes. A simple thank you goes a long way, and we have received countless messages from the public which have not gone unnoticed. From the hundreds of thank you notes, rainbow posters, knitted hearts, to clap for carers, we cannot express how much we have appreciated all these kind gestures and the way this has helped to lift our spirits. Thanks to generous donations from local communities and businesses, our UHCW charity has been able to fund items which have supported staff well-being, such as trim training, Daisy Awards, and improvements to rest areas. We've been able to improve the experience of patients with 80 iPads supplied across both hospitals so that they can communicate with their families and loved ones during these difficult weeks and months. Our communities have applauded us, and today we applaud them back. We've been humbled by the support and the way the amazing work of our staff continues to be held in such high esteem. Thank you.
As Stella has just said, the support that we've received over this really difficult year from businesses and our local community has not only enabled us to provide iPads for our patients, our superhero care boxes and improved rest areas for staff, but just knowing that others have been thinking about us all has warmed our hearts. The UHCW Charity Supporter of the Year Award celebrates those who work with the charity to make things better for our staff, patients and their families. This year our nominees are Damien Rees, Tracy Mills and Martin Battlewelch with Rosie Swaffield. After much deliberation, we're really proud to announce that Tracy Mills is our winner.
Who's this? It's Andy Harding, Chief Executive.
Hello.
Hello, you as well. I'd like to shake hands.
Yes. You are the very first Oscar winner. You are our Charity Person of the Year.
I thought it wasn't being announced till next week. It wasn't, but you're special.
Tracy Mills is a stage 4 terminal breast cancer patient who initially set out to raise £1,000 for our Arden Cancer Centre. To date, she's raised over £50,000 for cancer services here and in Turn at Rugby, along with her team of Arden's Angels, who were jumping out of planes, fundraising locally in pubs and clubs, and they hope to carry that on when they're able to. And she's determined to raise £100,000 in spite of cancer and COVID.
I'm just overwhelmed. I think if I wasn't just about to start chemo, I think I'd probably be crying my eyes out. The Angels will be just... There will be tears, guaranteed.
We could not do what we do without our band of talented and committed volunteers. This year in particular, their hard work and efforts helped us through the COVID-19 pandemic. From welcoming you to UHCW to delivering medication, distributing PPE and supporting our healthcare professionals on the wards, our volunteers willingly give up their free time to help others. The nominees for the Volunteers Award are Willie Goldschmidt, Bev Jessup, Steve Purcell, Fran Frerk, Roger Ash, St Cross COVID Volunteers Task Force, Rugby PP Response Team, UHCW volunteers and volunteer drivers.
So Roger, I've seen you several times this week. I am really pleased with this Oscar. See, you've not only been nominated, but you have won our Volunteer of the Year Award.
Thank you.
And you know, just helping with delivery of boxes, finding storage places, doing this, then with all the health and well-being stuff. So you know, I honestly really pleased to be presenting this to you.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
I nominated Roger Ash for the Volunteer Award. I had the pleasure of working with him throughout COVID and supporting staff wellbeing. He got involved in a variety of different initiatives that were designed to help support staff through the challenging times.
And it's been an absolute privilege and pleasure to get to know him. He's got quite a funny streak about him, so his sense of humour kept me going even on the lowest of days. He's got really, really unique talents that lent themselves very well to the projects. He's really, really good at seeking out the cages, which was really, really hard because we were transporting lots of nice things around the organisation to support staff. I think that Roger really, really deserves this award, to recognise him for the last 4 years. I know that he has lots of other roles within the hospital, but I was just privileged enough to work alongside him on the health and wellbeing projects during the first wave, and I just think he's awesome.
I feel absolutely amazed. That it's something that throughout the years I've worked here, I know people who have actually won Volunteer of the Year, and it's something that I've strived for, and this year's come to fruition. So it's really, really pleasing. All my fellow volunteers and the staff that I work with, they're all amazing, and this is possibly, of the 5 years I've worked here, the pinnacle of those 5 years.
And actually, I'm going to be honest with you, you're here on false pretense. Whilst of course I want to say thank you for everything you've done throughout the year, actually the reason you're here is because you've won one of our Outstanding Care Achievement Awards. So you were nominated for the fabulous work you've done in supporting the efforts around PPE during the pandemic. But it didn't just help UHCW, it helped care homes as well. So I think this is an incredibly well-deserved Oscar, so congratulations.
20 of our volunteers work together with a vast range of members of the community in order to respond to the PPE crisis when the COVID pandemic hit the country. We had a network of people working from home with 3D printers, lots and lots, hundreds of people with sewing machines making PPE. And we really made an impact at the very beginning by contacting people, networking through our friends and colleagues. We pulled in production from Aston Martin, Coventry University, and we're in touch with Warwickshire County Council and a vast array of organisations. It was a tremendous community effort, everybody pulling together, people that had never worked before together, formed a community that supported the NHS, the care homes, the dentists, the GPs, the schools, and everybody else that we could touch.
It gives me great pleasure to accept this award, the Oscar Award, on behalf of the rugby community and the wider communities who supported our PPE project that was so important earlier this year. A little quote from Seamus Heaney: "Hope is not optimism which expects things to turn out well, but something rooted in the conviction that there is good worth working for." There was a lot of good produced, and I'd like to thank everybody who made the effort in all sorts of ways to deliver everything that we did. Thank you.
We are a family at UHCW, and it's important that everyone has the same opportunity to champion ways in which we can reduce inequality. Our new Celebrating Diversity Award recognises those who have demonstrated inclusion in their work and, or service, or help to reduce health inequalities for staff and for patients. The nominees this year are Flynn York, Digital Communications Officer, Lorna Jones, Modern Matron for Cardiology, and Amy Coombs Fellows, Midwifery.
Can I interrupt? You're in the team meeting. I've got an award and an Oscar to give to one of your special team. Flynn, it's you. You're nominated and won the Celebrating Diversity Award. The nomination was absolutely fabulous. It talked about the fact that you constantly act every day to help the culture and diversity of this organisation, which is important to all of us. How you strive to set up and successfully now chair the LGBTQ+ board, and that you're always a person who can, as a go-to voice, who can help and support and always keep an eye out on what's going on in the organisation and making sure we're trying. We never get it right, but we're always trying to get it right. So thank you very much.
My name's Georgia, I'm from the Equality and Diversity team, and I'm nominating Flynn York for the Celebrating Diversity Award this year. I first met Flynn a couple weeks into my role, so he was looking at setting up a staff network here, and that's the staff network that he's now been nominated chair of, which is incredible. I've been to some of the meetings myself, and I've seen firsthand how he's led the team in creating such an open and honest space where staff can come together, share their experiences, and think strategically as well about the future of the trust and how they fit into that. Not only that, he's also really keen to support the other staff networks and make sure that everyone's on a level playing field, which is fantastic. And to me, that just really shows how his idea of equality, diversity, inclusion just extends beyond his own experience to incorporate everything under that banner, really. Not only that, but in his role in comms, he's been so supportive of us as the equality and diversity team. Any question, we can phone him up, he will answer right away, or if he doesn't know, he will find it out. And he's just been great at spreading the word, everything we're doing, getting people involved. To be honest, he's just an asset to the workforce, and I've loved watching him grow in his role and in his new role as chair, and I look forward to continuing to work with him.
I'm feeling really overwhelmed to have won this award. When we launched the Pride Network earlier this year, we did so in a really difficult time. In-person meetings got put on hold, but behind the scenes we've been doing so much work. I'm really proud of the rest of my team, to Amy and to Kieran for helping me and being by my side throughout all of it, and I'm really looking forward to 2021 and all of the things that we can achieve together moving forward.
Lorna, so not only have you been nominated for an Oscar, you are a winner. You've only been here since January, but you've already proved yourself to be an absolutely outstanding matron. It says you are an amazing asset to cardiology, and not only that, your passion for working diversity is already making a difference to UHCW. So it's a great pleasure to say congratulations.
My name is Carly Baker, and I'm here on behalf of Louise Ellis, who unfortunately couldn't be here today to talk about this award. Lorna Jones is a cardiology matron, and she is an absolute voice of diversity. Lorna's new to the Trust. She's been with us since about the end part of 2019, and she's passionate about the whole of cardiology and looking after us and making sure that we're working well together as a team. One of the things that sticks out the most is, whilst the COVID-19 pandemic has been going on, the shielding staff that haven't been able to work, she's made sure that we have still maintained a job. And when we were able to come back to work, she created a green pathway across at the BMI hospital, and we were able to continue seeing elective patients, and we were able to continue working, which is an amazing achievement. She's committed to the Trust values, and she's an absolute voice of diversity. For Lorna, every voice matters and every life matters. She's an informal ambassador regardless of race, religion and gender, and she celebrates diversity in the best way. Lorna's really worked hard and gone above and beyond for this award, and more than deserves it.
What an honour and a privilege. I am so surprised to get this award. I've only been in the Trust about a year, and to be considered to have made such a positive impact to cardiology and the Trust, it appears, is amazing. And I think probably the most important feature for me is the endorsement. My endorsement of me as a nurse leader, as a BME leader, and I think that sky's the limit, and I hope that I'll be able to walk with the Trust and help change and take it to that outstanding place.
We are immensely proud of every member of staff across UHCW, and our next award shines a spotlight on our non-clinical stars who, as part of the wider team, help deliver high-quality patient care. The Going the Extra Mile in Supporting Care Award recognises those offering essential services each and every day. Our nominees are Margaret Taylor, Medical Secretary, Eddie Martin, ISS Domestic, Dawn Hitchcock, Ward Hostess, Ben Royal, Associate Group Manager, PPE Team, Anaesthetics Administration Team, Virology and Molecular Pathology Team, Communications Team, Medical Students Deployment Team, Medical Equipment and Bioengineering Services Team.
Good afternoon all. Sorry to interrupt. Could I have a special moment to share with you? Or particularly, it's actually a special moment to share with Eddie.
How do you know me?
We're going the extra mile in the Outstanding Care Awards. The nomination talks about how the fact that you are absolutely central to this team, how you keep the team smiling and all the patients. And one of the highest accolades to come from patients is they miss you on your days off. And people throughout this COVID in particular, when people have not been able to see their families, you have made all the difference. You absolutely represent this trust values, every one of them. So I'm here to say thank you on behalf of the trust and to present you this Oscar.
So my name's Jeanette Randall and I work in major trauma, ECU, trauma and orthopaedics. I nominated Eddie for an Oscar because I feel that, you know, he stands out from the crowd. He's excellent rapport with both the patients and the staff. Always happy to help. He'll go above and beyond to help the staff and the patients. And also, you know, with us not having visitors in at the moment for the patients, He'll make himself their personal visitor while he's cleaning their bed space. He'll sing to them, do little dances, you know, tell them jokes to cheer them up, because they need uplifting at the moment. You know, everyone's on a low, I think, at the minute with the pandemic. Yeah, he's just outstanding, and he's a fabulous guy, and I think he deserves it.
Well, overwhelmed by it all. You know, something I never expected. I never set out to do all this, but I only take it on behalf of all the people out there. The nurses make it a lot easier for me to do the job. I'm overwhelmed by it all, and all I can do is thank them all. But the biggest thanks goes to the staff out there on the wards. I know how hard they work, and I appreciate it. I'm just part of their team. It's all I look at. And I'm just happy for it, over the moon with it all.
You, as the PPE team, have been nominated and won an Oscar.
Wow.
So you've won the Oscar for going the extra mile in best supporting team for the whole trust. For obviously what you continue to do, but really to recognise lots of things in terms of the importance of what you've done for the trust during the pandemic. We were very, very lucky, mainly apart from what you guys did. Our clinical frontline staff never ran out of PPE. They always had it when they needed it. Many of you from different areas, whether that be PPO, procurement, you stepped up like overnight, completely, utterly lived the trust values, certainly learned and improved very quickly, and basically ran it like clockwork. So I think this is one of the most deserved Oscars I'm giving out this year, so congratulations.
I'm Sue Rollerton, and I nominated the PPE team because they went over and above to ensure all of us had the correct supply of PPE to keep us and our patients safe. In the first wave, they delivered 7 million items of PPE. 100 new PPE stores were set up, 28 businesses were engaged, and 50 staff were involved. To do this, teams across the hospital pulled together to move from their everyday jobs to ensure that new systems of distribution were set up and visible stock management across the whole hospital worked. They demonstrated all of our values. I am so proud of this team. They really are world class.
Thank you. I'm really proud to receive this award on behalf of the PPE team, which recognises, yes, the hard work and dedication of a number of individuals that came together in terms of providing our PPE distribution process over that initial COVID surge. Really pleased that our peers have nominated for this, and I think it's reflective of the hard work of all of the team and not just me. So for myself, just a really big thank you to all of those people who helped and supported that delivery during that time. Thank you.
The Going the Extra Mile in Delivering Care award recognises individuals and teams who are passionate about providing world-class care. They are not just doing their job, they are changing lives. With a team as fantastic as ours, it will be no surprise to hear that we received hundreds of nominations for individuals and teams from across our 2 hospitals. Our nominees are Lindsay Fitzpatrick, lung cancer nurse. Sophie Harrison, nursery nurse. Nicola Jackson, lung cancer nurse. Lisa Armour, paediatric orthopaedic advanced nurse practitioner. Wards 10 and 11, green surgical pathway. The mortuary team. Ward 34, haematology and outpatients team. And the community heart failure team.
There's somebody has been put forward and nominated and won an Oscar for the hard working and outstanding service delivering the extra mile in care award.
That won't be anybody in this one.
Well, surprise, surprise, it actually is. And it's you.
No.
I'll tell you now, The nomination talks about you being the backbone of this team.
Oh, that's so rubbish.
No,
it's so true.
It's from one of your, you've given fantastic leadership. One of your consultant colleagues wrote this down, put you forward and said that throughout the whole history of this team, certainly through COVID, without you, it just kept on going and you're the heartbeat, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce this Oscar for my very good, hard-working and dedicated colleague, Lindsay Fitzpatrick. She's been with the lung cancer team for a number of years and really has been the backbone of the team. During the difficult times of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have been really struggling to keep the services running. It has also been a great challenge due to the staff shortages, but she's always kept the patients in the center of her attention, her focus of work, and all her efforts. Through her dedication, she has made sure that she utilizes and puts into practice her master's capabilities that she's recently achieved and keep all the clinics going without a single clinic getting cancelled, and the care of our cancer patients being coordinated and delivered to the best quality and the standard that we aspire to. Through dedicated working, she has collaborated and made sure that the care pathway is implemented as well as it can be through these difficult and challenging times, coordinating care with cancer services through respiratory medicine, surgery, oncology, palliative care. She is one of those people that I've known who implements the trust values in her practice on a daily basis, learning from experience, disseminated learning to her colleagues, providing compassion, providing care, empathy, and always respectful. Well done, Lindsay.
I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I don't really get stuck for words very often, unless this is just amazing. And I think UHCW had an incredible difficult year, and I accept this not just on behalf of my team, but I think everybody in this trust deserves an Oscar this year just for keeping the place open, keeping it going. But I just feel really privileged to accept it, and it's a lovely, lovely thought for what's been a really difficult year and such an amazing week as well for us.
Good to see you all. So you have won one of the 2020 Oscars for this year. Congratulations. So you won an award for going the extra mile, delivering care. Your nomination talked about that, I mean, well, I think you'll know, I'll be kind of you guys, but the nomination from one of your colleagues in the hospital talked about that even though you had lots of change in the team, you've continued not only to do your business as usual to your high level of professional standard you always do with your compassion with your colleagues, but obviously we have a little pandemic during the year. Your compassion as ever came through, not just the way you deal with the people who have died with their families, colleagues throughout the hospital. You also managed to find a bit of time to support the Birmingham and Warwickshire, of course, as well. And so your colleagues put you forward, and you are a winner of an Oscar, so congratulations.
Hi, I'm Lisa, I'm from the mortuary, and I've nominated the mortuary team. I've nominated them because over the last 12 months they've worked extremely hard, working together as a team, through lots of different changes with staffing, bringing new people in, teaching them about trust values, and working through a pandemic, which was obviously extremely challenging for everybody. So they've tried to maintain a calm, professional attitude throughout, as well as trying to bring a slice of normal life to all of the people that we work with, interact with and look after. We also had an open day in August, so we invited all of our colleagues in the trust to come along to the mortuary, and we had about 200 people that came to learn more about what happens in our department and how patients are cared for through their journey in UHCW.
I'm really, really proud of the mortuary team. We've had a really challenging year. We've had some new members come into the team. We've had a whole pandemic to deal with, and the team have been absolutely amazing. So as well as managing the mortuary here at Warwick and at Rugby, we were also a part of the mass mortuary that was at Birmingham Airport as well. So that was an amazing experience, and the team managed great throughout the whole thing. I'm really proud of them, and I couldn't be happier to be managing such an amazing team at this time.
Having the privilege of witnessing what you all do every day to care for others truly inspires me. UHCW has become a front window of the NHS, and what we display is simply magnificent. The Chief Executive Officer Award recognises teams and individuals that live all of our values: compassion, openness, improve, respect, partnership, pride and learn. It brings me a great deal of satisfaction and happiness reading through the nominations each year, and I am continually blown away by the new and imaginative ways you go above and beyond the call of duty. Our nominees for the Chief Executive Officer Award are as follows: Dr. Costas Lippus, Consultant; Dr. Brian Shields, Consultant Paediatrician; Bridget Goff, Senior Physiotherapist; Wendy Woods, Ward Manager; Natalie Perrott-Butlin, Theatre Practitioner. Outpatient Services Team, St Cross Theatre Team, Chaplains, Communications Team, Nutrition and Dietetics Team. And for the team, and I'm going to tell you now, with all due respect to all the people who are shortlisted, when it arrived on my desk, I didn't even have to read the nomination because of what I know you guys have done this year. But that really became evident to all your colleagues across the Trust this year, like never has been before through COVID. In terms of not just supporting families and their patients, but all our staff as well. Not being scared, of course you were scared of COVID, but not worrying about that, going towards bedsides and into patients' areas which were COVID full. And just show that you are truly, utterly at the heart of UHCW and everything we stand for. So I say, I didn't even need to read that nomination because I know what you guys do, so I was really pleased to see you nominated. So it really is a great pleasure for me to present this to you as Chief Executive Award for 2020.
My name's Jackie. I nominated the chaplaincy team for the Chief Executives Award because I've been blown away by the care, compassion, respect shown by the whole team. They're a lovely bunch of people, all different walks of life, different faiths. From when I started a few months ago, they've made me feel really valued and a valuable member of the team. They've been a great support to patients and staff this year because staff have suffered with the stress of COVID and everything. Some of them have needed support and someone to talk to sometimes. They've been there for patients, visiting when relatives have not been able to. They've held hands, they've been with people that are dying, and they've followed up this care by contacting relatives to let them know that they've been with them, and they found that a great comfort. They've changed their shift patterns so that some people are working late shifts to accommodate staff that are working different shifts, so they can come down, knock the door if they need to speak to them any time. And they've been forging more relationships with different departments, most recently Pediatrics, to support parents of babies and older children that need support because of bereavement and serious illness. And that's why I nominated them, because they're just great.
It's such a privilege and a joy, and slightly embarrassing almost to receive this award. We're aware of what all of our colleagues around the Trust do every day, and we have the privilege of working alongside of them and being part of what they do. And it's such a great joy to have this, really. And we get to work in a really great team of chaplains across here and at St Cross. And yes, and we're really proud to be able to receive this and to be part of what everybody has done this year and worked so hard, and to be able to have joined in that. So thank you, it's great, thank you very much.
Morning all. Morning. Wendy. I have absolute great pleasure. You know you were nominated to the Executive Award.
I was, yeah.
And you are my winner this year. So this is the one Oscar I get to choose actually. There was lots and lots of nominations. Your nomination was fabulous. I don't know whether your colleague is here today.
Who was it?
Well, you'll soon be able to work it out. So the reason you won this award is, and I say it was a year when we've been through unprecedented times, extraordinary pressures for all of us who work in the NHS, particularly you guys here.
in the front line of clinical services. And it's a time when more than ever we actually not just think about patients, we have to think about our colleagues. And you have a deaf colleague, and that's who Rebecca has. Wow. And she says, without, this is a person whose greatest dream was to be a nurse, became a healthcare support worker, and somebody just walked in. Hello. There you go, I recognise you. And it's a fantastic thing, so through your compassion, not just for your patients, but for your colleagues, in particular Azra, Azra carry on working, and you are an absolute credit to this trust. You live all of our values, and I just want to say thank you and congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
My name is Azra Praveen. I'm a healthcare assistant on Ward 22 SIU. I nominate my manager, Wendy Wood. The reason why I nominate her is because she's been absolutely brilliant with me, especially with my disability. You see, I'm deaf, I wear hearing aids, and I lip reader. During this pandemic, Wendy Wood have been there for me every step of the way. You see, when everyone started wearing masks, things became very difficult for me. I couldn't understand what anyone was saying to me. And it was so hard to understand. I could do the job, but I couldn't understand the communication because each patient needs different care. I keep breaking down, but Wendy had been there for me every step of the way. She supported me, she encouraged me. There was time where I wanted to walk away, to give up the dream job, but she told me no. She told me you can do it, and that she supported me so much every step of the way. She's been absolutely brilliant. Now at that time everyone was scared, and I know she was scared as well, but she didn't show it. She always had that smile on her face. She encouraged me. You're not going nowhere, you can do this. She was a lifesaver, basically. I was down a lot. I had hit rock bottom because of what was going on. But she'd been brilliant, supporting me. She's a real diamond, 1 in a million. The backbone of the NHS, a credit to the NHS. They say angels are above it, but we have one here right in the heart of the NHS. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you.
I'm shocked, very shocked. I'm speechless, really. I just don't know what to say. I didn't expect it, definitely didn't expect it. I just want to say thank you very much, Azra, for nominating me. I was doing my job, really. I was looking out for her. She's one of my staff, and as I look out for all my staff, I feel like they're my family. I think this is one for the team as well. It's been a real tough year for SAU. So I think this is definitely one for the whole team. And yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for all my colleagues.
Every year, the Oscars highlight the expertise and devotion shown by staff to deliver high quality care to our patients. This year surpasses anything that has gone before. I'm sure you'll all agree that the stories and testimonies we've heard tonight have been heartwarming, uplifting and moving in equal measure. I've said it time and time again, it is you that make this trust so special. We have laughed together, cried together and accomplished so much together. But more than anything, we have come together. Each and every one of you, whether you work for the Trust, Vinci, ISS, the charity, or as a volunteer, should be immensely proud of what you have achieved and the way you have embodied our values. We have been thrown in at the deep end, pushed massively outside of our comfort zone. We have always adjusted, adapted, and overcome the odds. I hope you have enjoyed what's been a hugely absorbing evening and come away with an overwhelming sense of pride at the difference you are all making. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
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 Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In our eyes and the eyes of our communities, you are all heroes. Thank you to every single one of you.